Rick's Firearm Academy of Detroit presents personal protection tips. This is a regular feature that we're producing and presenting on our YouTube channel to help you and anyone who listens to this video or watches this video to live a safer existence. These are our personal protection tips. Each video has one tip in it, and one tip per video is a pretty good ratio. The more of these videos you watch, the more tips you will learn, and the more opportunity you will have to adopt and incorporate these tips in your life. And the more that you do, the more that you learn, the more that you adopt, the safer you'll be. So hopefully you will look at every video in this series. Before we go ahead and talk about today's personal protection tip, I want to entreat, I want to ask of you, would you look at our videos, check out our channel, and if you like what you see, if you like this video, like it, leave us a comment, and consider subscribing to our channel. We work very hard at giving some very useful and actionable content. Okay, so having said all of that, today's personal protection tip is to commit key phone numbers to memory. With the advent of technology, especially the prevalence and ubiquity of cell phones, many people today do not make the effort of memorizing key telephone numbers. They rationalize that if they need to call someone, they'll just open up their address book in their cell phone and just look the name up and then push the button, and then they will be able to be in touch with whoever they want. However, there may be a day in which you need emergency assistance, but you do not have access to your cell phone. Thus, at a minimum, you should commit to memory the phone numbers of all close family members and your attorney. And I know some of you might be thinking right now, you just said, Rick, this is what you said. You said, if you do not have access to your phone. Well, under what circumstance would I not have access to my phone, Rick? I'll tell you when I didn't have access to my phone, when I really needed it. It was that day that I got robbed. When I got robbed, the two guys that robbed me, they took my cell phone. So, one, I didn't have a means of calling the police. Two, I didn't have the means of contacting anyone that I knew because I still didn't have my phone. But here's the kicker. If I actually found someone who had access to a cell phone and who would not mind a stranger, probably in a frantic, agitated state after being robbed, they probably would not have been able to help me because they don't know the people that I'm trying to get in touch with. So really, it's a bad situation to be in. You know, a stranger can dial 911 and can call the police. That they can do. And so, that would be, of limited use. But what I want to impress upon you is that There was a time not too long ago, I don't know, like maybe 15 years ago, 20 years ago, before everybody had a cell phone and before cell phones were everywhere. We all pretty much knew how to memorize a ton of phone numbers. We were just walking around and just had all of these numbers in our head. But I tell you, with the popularity and ubiquity of cell phones, we've allowed ourselves to become lazy, and we don't know people who are relatively close to us. We don't know their phone numbers. And that could be to our detriment if we find ourselves in an emergency situation and we don't have a cell phone. And I'll tell you, one of the chief ways you can lose your cell phone is during a robbery, or two, you might suffer a theft. And when you realize that your cell phone has been stolen, you're going to be at a disadvantage and not be able to efficiently get a hold of people. Yeah, you'll be able to get a replacement phone, and after a couple of days, after going to the cell phone store or making arrangements with them some kind of way, that you lost your phone and you need another one. But in that exact moment in which something unfortunate has happened, you will want to have an efficient means of contacting family and friends, but you won't be able to because, one, you don't have a phone, and two, even if you did have a phone, you don't have an efficient way of contacting people because you do not know their phone number. So today's personal protection tip is a throwback. Memorize key phone numbers.